G'day, Yigadunts. G'day, Hendra. What up, White Blue? Ooh, White Blue first on YouTube. How are you doing? What up, Gamer and McCory? Today's gonna be a fun day. Dealing with particles and shaders. What up, Vinny? How are you? You doing good, White Blue? Nice. Good to hear. Good to hear. I saw the artwork and the music that you posted in the Discord, Vinny. Very well done. Very well done. You can definitely see the style in the visuals. It's like the first music I heard, so... The plan for today is to get some particle stuff done. So that when we do the shockwave attack, the particles, like the dust, happens. And then we can try and get the shockwave working. Because if we can't get the shockwave working, at least we have, like, the dust and leaves and stuff happening. You know? You know? Something to say that something's happened. Damn, ads coming in. Ads always coming in at the worst time. Oh, and the other thing we'll be doing is we'll probably be looking at some more mocap suits. Because if I can get a mocap suit, and then not only do the motion capture animations for my game, but also do motion capture animations for other people on Twitch, I'm down for that. Going back and forth between sprite art and coding. Yeah, nice. That's the best way to do it. Whenever you need a break, like if you get stuck on a problem in coding, you go to the sprite work, you like do some of the artwork, and then when you come back, you can solve that problem. Same with the artwork. You can't figure out how to do something, you just go on to some coding for a bit. It's a nice breakup. It's good. So, we're listening to the Game Over musical RPG soundtrack today. That's what we're doing. Kenny assets. I think Kenny has a good dust particle thing. Yeah, this thing. You can use like these. We'd probably use like that one, followed by that one. Like, nah, that's the, we want it to be like a push forward sort of thing. Yeah. How's everyone doing this morning? Has everyone had their coffee? Because I've had one coffee so far. I'm going to need to get another on the next ad break. Oof. Howdy. Howdy, Bucky. G'day, you get on. Oh, this is a question I'm going to be asking throughout the day. Are we happy with the new TTS voices, or do we want to go back to the old TTS voices? It's been a week. So, you know, had some coffee, but I'm trying to be wiser and drink more water as well. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely drink water.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay, ads are over. Woot woot. That's the thing you should always do. Like if you're drinking coffee or if you're out having some beers with mates or something, have at least one glass of water with each drink, you know? Break it up. Keep yourself hydrated. Don't put yourself in a bad situation where you wake up the next day and you feel like you're gonna just not make it. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated, you fantastic Gedunt. How are you doing, Arthur? You get to introduce yourself to people as a Gedunt now. Alright, the way I like to do it, alright, when I go to a cafe to get a coffee or something on my day off, I like to go up and just say, before I give them my order, just, "G'day, I'm a Gedunt." That's it. And then I wait for them to ask me for my order. Yeah. What do you do, Arthur? Are you a artiste? Are you a streamer? What you doing?
New ones are pretty good, but I have yet to test everything. Still, everyone make sure to eat your banana skins.
It still says banana skins in the stupid way. That's for sure. Oh snap! It says it the fun way? It does. It does. I just noticed that from now, like for the next week, if you buy 2 subs, you unlock a Crunchyroll Mega Fan free trial. And I think that's on any stream. So you can give 2 subs to any stream, you get a Crunchyroll Mega Fan thingamajig. Yeah. Very nice. I don't want a dust sim. I want dust particles. I want dust particles. Not particle sandbox, Jesus Christ. Torn between working on the cutscene system more and making Abraham Lincoln sprite art since it is guaranteed to be in the game. I guess it depends on what you feel like doing. Is your brain exhausted? Because if your brain's exhausted, you probably don't want to be doing... what do you call it? Coding. This does have dust particles, but I want it to be like a swooping dust particle. I guess I could have it start small. I would like pick one of these, have it start small, have it go forward, and then it like add turbulence to it or something, so the particle system like makes it like go crazy. And like the size increases over time or something. I like that. And then we can also use some of these particles, I reckon. Like... Let's get this. I'm not making enough money to donate. Come on. Once I sell the game and I start making money from the game, then I'll donate. That's what we'll do. That's right, I can get rid of the Debian update too. Kenny Particle Pack. rotated, so they're on the side. Okay. PNG transparent. That's what you want. You want the transparent. If we go Kenny particles, take those. There we go. There it is. Assets. Pop them in here. What up, Intrex? G'day, you gidunt. How are you doing? Get rid of that. It's a very good song, this. Dad decided to learn Unity as well, and I pointed them to that website. We're thinking of doing the Kenny Game Jam together in a couple of months. Nice. Nice. Yeah, Kenny's got a ton of good assets. Like, so many. You can make so many different games. Like, they've got a blaster kit. They've got input prompts. They've got, you know, retro building packs. They've even got a pirate kit. You know, jump up to number 4. You've got yellow paint to like tell people where they're supposed to go if you want to make a game for babies. You know, because if people need to be told where to go, then they don't understand the idea of an adventure game. You know. I heard that was one of the complaints that people had with Expedition 33 was there was no yellow paint telling them where to go. Like, yes, it's an open world RPG. Like, you explore. I'm good. You done? How are you doing? I'm good. I'm good. It's in the name. Get done. By the way, my next course of action is going to be AWS Terraform Cuba. Thoughts? What is it? I know what AWS and Terraform are. I don't know what Cuba is. So, yeah. Let's see, if we go CPU particles. Kubernetes, also the stuff I'll learn, is what I mean. Next course of action is going to be AWS Terraform Cuba. Kubernetes, also the stuff I'll learn. Oh, you're thinking of AWS Terraform and Kubernetes as this stuff. From where is this music? I think those are good ones to learn in Trex. Those are definitely good ones for you to learn. They're used pretty much in every DevOps. Almost all DevOps. This music is Game Over, a Musical RPG original soundtrack. Okay? If you want to play the game, they have a demo of it. I'm terrible at rhythm music games, but it's a great game. This one right here. Right here. They have a demo. So I've played the demo and realized that I suck at it, but I love the music. If they had the OST for sale on here, I would buy the OST. But yeah, it's basically, you've got like a rhythm RPG, there's comedy throughout it, you've got story and dialogue and all that kind of stuff. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. Because so far covered Bash, scripting, Docker, CI/CD, GitHub Actions, and I'm going to start learning those 3 probably learn Jenkins as well. Yeah, Jenkins is a popular pipeline automation tool. And people usually run like a Kubernetes cluster, which will have Docker agents in it. So when something needs to run, they'll spin up an instance inside the Kubernetes cluster, which will handle that pipeline, and then that Jenkins agent in the Kubernetes instance will shut down, so that they don't have the agent running constantly, causing them to have to pay for something not being used. DevOps is pretty much just it's a way for businesses to basically make sure they're not spending money on services that they shouldn't be using. So instead of spending like $100, or instead of spending like $1,000 a day having, or $100 a day having a Kubernetes instance running, they spend $1,000 a day to have a DevOps person making sure that doesn't happen. If that makes sense. Yeah, it's confusing. Basically the business thinks it saves them money, and that's the only thing that we really care about. As long as the business thinks it's saving them money, we get paid. That's all there is to it. I think you explained it wrong. No. They'll have a team of like 10 DevOps people at $1,000 a day per person. And they'll be managing like a bunch of stuff that, if they just left that stuff running 24/7, would only cost them like $1,000 a week. They save money by giving us more than what we will save them. Yes, because it means that in their budget reports and stuff, they can say, oh, look, we've reduced our infrastructure costs by X amount. And investors go, ooh, well done. And then investors throw more money at them. That's what most of IT is, all right? Most of IT is just, what can we do to make our investors go, ooh, nicely done. Here's more money. Doesn't matter if we're saving money or not, as long as it seems like we're saving money, you know? We're not lying to them. We did save that money on infrastructure. We're just spending it elsewhere now. Not lying to them. We're not lying to them. The investors just don't realize. That's all. I was just wondering. That would be helpful. Ooh, that would be very helpful, wouldn't it? Okay. Set it to 0 on the X. Move it to like 1 on the Z. Okay, so we need it to be negative 0.5 there. Alright. So that way it's about center. Yeah. Don't need more. Eh. So what this would do is we would have a few different spawn points. This might be a bit more complicated than I thought. Dust particles. Du boy! G'day, you gadunt. Did you have a lot of fun with Borderlands 3? I love that game. Borderlands 3 was so much fun. Welcome in, y'all. How are all the gadunts doing? We're looking at doing some dust particle stuff today, as well as some shader work, you know? That type of stuff. I have no idea where to start though, so. It's really good? Yeah. Yeah, it is. So good. I'm thinking what we can do is we can have it so that, like, negative... Actually, 0.5. And we'll push it forward 0.2. 0.1, no, 5.15. We want you to be 0. We want there to be 5. That's right. 0.25. G'day, Symbol. How are you? So what's your favorite thing in Borderlands 3? Like, favorite character, favorite weapon, favorite build, that type of stuff. Fucking hell, Tangier. Pick it up. Jesus Christ. These free services, you think they would work? I'd love anything and everything that can do head crits. So you're not going to love my game. That's what I'm hearing. 57 of 60. Ooh, 3 left. I'm off to make supper. Talk to you later. No worries, Symbol. Good luck with the last 3 levels. Well done on getting, like, 35 levels made in 3 days. That's impressive. That is an impressive count. So if we have those as the points... see, we're going to do... Plane mesh or a quad mesh? I think it's a plane mesh. We give it a standard material, and we go the albedo is a texture. We go dust. Dirt particle. Okay. Oh, smoke. That's what it would be. It doesn't look like it's spawning from the points, does it? Okay, it is. It is. Yeah, cool. So we can do that. And probably have them go a bit wider, though. Like 75.33. And then we'd have it so that they go out and they like swoop up. I'm here to get impressed. Haha. Well, I'm here to disappoint. What up, Tricky? Ooh, Tricky Lady is the third person to show up. Jesus Christ. I could have sworn there were more than 3 people here. Could have sworn. But hey, I guess I was wrong. No, just 3? Okay. So I am talking to myself. That's good to know. Good to know. I'm impressed how disappointing this stream is. I aim to disappoint. That means I'm doing a good job. Hell yeah. How are you doing, Brainoid? Huh? I want all of them to appear at once. That's what I want to have happen. Okay. We probably set that to like 3. Refreshing the demo stats page. Nice. Hoping to see some numbers go up, of course. It's like an IRL Balatro-like game I'm playing, but the core mechanics is hope. Nice. Nice. I love it when a game implements hope. You know? It would be good if I could have, like, each point go in a different direction. I think I might just need to create my own particle, like does the arch and like spreads out and like, you know. It's like, this is good for a footstep, but it's not good for what we're trying to accomplish. That's all. Particle sprites. They're all much the same. Like, they're all doing very similar stuff. hooey. This is why you should always work with an artist. Or just be an artist, you know? Because that's going to be pixel art stuff. In this thing here, there's no... There's nothing to really be used for like an arcing dust particle effect sort of thing. Be an artist and work with an artist. That too. That too. Be an artist and work with an artiste. Yep. %100% right. That's just the Kenny pack. Nope. Particle textures. If I create like a... I may have to go into Critter or GIMP or something and create like an arcing particle effect. Yeah. These look very much side on. Could be though. Could be something we could use. Because we can't just use standard particles either. Because, yeah, these particles here, they're definitely better suited for, like, a footstep or something. And the fact that we can't get them to just burst, like, have all of them appear at once, sort of thing. So if we say explosiveness to 1, it just does 4 and then 5 and then 3 and then 3 and then 4 and then 3. It's like, where's the rest of them? That's the thing that I don't get. All right, we might put that off. We might go to this. Where is it? I don't think it's this one. Because this one's 2D. But there's a video in here that we can kind of go through to be like, oh, that's it. Yeah, that's what it is. That's the one. No, not that. Not that one. All right. There was a video of it somewhere. A video posted somewhere. Where was it? Where was it? I forget where it was. Completely forget. You gotta love it when you forget where the information that you need is. Let's just go to YouTube. I was watching it last night and I was like, that's exactly what we want. We want go for 3D shockwave data. This one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was this one. So
projectile. And then
What was it?
selecting quad is the mesh type.
we've got,
Then add a material.
he's got the spatial set up. He's given it a material.
Select billboard. And check billboard keep scale. Set it to additive blending.
That's probably the only part I don't like is the billboard.
I'm using this one, but any fuzzy donut shape should do the job.
Because I don't need this to billboard. That's the only thing.
Next, add an animation player now, and make an animation of our quad growing in size and fading out.
I also don't need that.
Effectively works.
So I don't need the animation player stuff.
Corrected by the delta. The first step is to create the billboard keep scale. Set it to additive blending.
This is all sprite through. No, it's mesh.
Next,
Ah, it's a
add an animation
spatial
player.
material.
Counts down in
Okay.
seconds, giving the project source. To fix this, simply set the material as a duplicate. The next step is to actually create and work with billboard materials. So you must
All right.
quad face the player.
Something like this.
Hello guys, welcome back. So
Kind of. Like, it needs to be something that like moves with the wind, sort of thing. So it needs to like arc out and like have turbulence applied to it and stuff like that. So like these textures look good for this, but I'm not sure if they would look good for something that has turbulence. Like maybe that one. Let's see what we got here. See what we've got. Maybe. It's gonna look very smoky as well. Like, this one would look very smoky compared to like some dust that kicks up.
The script and step listing.
Lower shelf prices now on
Fuck off.
hundreds of.
Like, no one cares, Woolworths. You suck. No one cares, Booper.
Down, select convert to shader material.
So what he's doing is setting up a
Add spatial
shockwave material on
Use this as the base
this. And he's animating the shockwave material. I don't need to do that.
Apply the gray values of the screen, ignoring
He's converted it to all of that. This is 4 years ago as well, so really what I need is this part here. So it's like he's got a container. We'd just be able to put another color on it. It's not just the color. It's also how it looks visually. Because I can make it brown and make it look like dust. But it's not going to look like wind is pushing the dust forward. If that makes sense. So, like, yeah, I can use it for smoke, or if I had dust that I just wanted to like pop up or something. But because I need it to like arc forward and like look like a gust of wind has just come through, a texture of smoke just going upwards isn't going to do that. I probably need to create some sort of custom texture to get it to look how it should.
pulling the second viewport will return black texture unless we
But yeah, I can't just use a general smoke texture.
Additionally, because the viewport texture renders the final frame, we are also going to be re-rendering.
Don't you do that with CPU particles? It's... So if you have, like, I'll open it up again here.
Hello guys.
Stop it. Go away. So I'll open this up here. So these here aren't going to look correct as if a gust of wind is pushing it forward. Alright? They're too clumped together. A gust of wind pushing something forward is going to have an arc in it. It's going to have a bow in it. Or it's going to have a flat edge to it. Like, it's not going to look like this. So, yeah. Like, I could... It might be possible to use it, but at the same time, it's... Like, this here is not something like I can fan out across an arc. So I can, like, have it all push forward, add turbulence to it and stuff. It's something that'll... Like, if I have multiple of them across the same area, it's gonna look odd-ish. You know what I mean?
Frames ripples, so our effects are going to stack. It also renders the texture twice as bright as it's supposed to. To mitigate these
I think what I'll do first, though, is I'll get the shader for the distortion wave. We'll implement that first.
for stacking, there is a clean solution, but there are ways to help. First, by setting them up.
We'll see how easy it is to implement this distortion wave first, though. You're a shader. I'm not a shader, okay? I'm just in the shade. You can see how white I am, can't you? Like, I need to be in the shade.
Is on the ground, and I can use proximity phase in diagonal direction based on how bright the refraction is. What we can
If I'm not in the shade, I come in and I look like a tomato,
away the
right?
pixels are from the center of a plot, and then multiply them offset by the refraction texture brightness. It's looking better, but there are still rendering issues with glass. Fortunately, our ripples are now, for the most part, to flesh out the effect.
It's like, this does do a good shockwave.
And a particle emitter that spits out some smoke when the explosion with my ripples. As for stacking, there isn't a
But, like, you can see how everything is underneath this here. I'm not sure if I need this these days, though. Buy the Oreos, bro, please. Oreos? What Oreos? Oh, you're talking about those. Right, those ones. I did not see them down there.
Note, don't change in the code what viewport will pull the texture from. Your stack.
But yeah, so he's got a sub viewport container and a sub viewport setup, which has his entire world and gameplay area and all that stuff in it. I'm just wondering if I need that. I think I do,
Don't
because he's got some code
enable transparent.
where...
I don't know how to affect the code to
Where does he do it?
proximity
Come on.
effect. I add an omnilux.
Yeah. So right here, he sets the
And ready function.
the shockwave
To assign that shader uniform.
uh,
Viewports to
actual texture, or actual screen texture. I don't know why he's done this, though. Why does he do it?
Then add a line to the ready function of a projectile and a shader to input the texture into.
So the only thing is, I don't know why he's changed that out.
Up in the refraction. We are going to need another approach. Fortunately, Godot has another method for sampling the screen. Viewport
Okay.
nodes have a function to extract their texture
Yeah.
from the viewport texture object.
So why do you create a new
Viewport
viewport,
textures
though? Can't you just
contain
get
full
the current
render of what's in the
viewport?
viewport? Transparencies on. Additionally, the root node of
Yeah, you
all
get
Godot
viewport
projects
texture.
is a viewport. So let's try pulling from that. First, create a new uniform shader to input the texture into.
I don't know why he's got everything as shockwave, like capitals.
To assign that shader uniform to the root viewport's texture object.
So it just does get slash root, get texture. Root view player. Like, what's the purpose of this root viewport here? Where this sub viewport container and sub viewport.
The initial result has issues for a couple of reasons. Assigning the root viewport's texture to a sprite quickly shows that there is something wrong. That
Yeah.
artifacting is likely caused by trying to read and write from the root viewport at the same time.
Yeah.
If we change the first two nodes in our project to a viewport container and another viewport, we avoid artifacting altogether. Note, don't change in the code what viewport we pull the texture from. We are still pulling from
Right, so he does that to avoid.
the presence of the second viewport fixes the artifacting. Pulling from the second viewport will return a black texture unless we enable transparent background. I don't know why. Additionally, because the viewport texture renders the final frame, we are also going to be re-rendering ripples on top of the previous frame's ripples. So our effects are going to stack.
Interesting. So he's added them there to avoid artifacting in his system, which means under here I would need to add a sub viewport, change this to we'll just call it view. Change this to a sub viewport container. Open this up. It is that. This is probably going to cause a lot of stuff to break. Especially since I need to move all of this under here now. This needs to be... Yeah, see, this is the problem, though. If I do this... Oh, actually, yeah. They fix up all those constants first. Under here, we need to go world, root world, view, there. That should fix up most of that. Yeah, cool. And there's still the plus and it's add child. Yes. Game state world area. Let's go into here. You'll be percent player. Area will be percent player bunker. You two. Access unique. Yeah, cool. Easy enough to change that. Okay, so that's all good. We have all of that set up. And I think what they're doing is they're taking the texture from the main viewport and they're assigning it to this viewport. But my issue will be, you see how it's like all artifacty? It's because in here, I need to reapply all of my, like all of this stuff, sort of thing. You see how that's blurry when I increase the size? It's not really what you want. It also makes it difficult to like resize things and whatnot. So I don't think that's gonna do what we want it to do, unfortunately. Go back over here and we'll do that. Was all of those out? So this approach won't really work. What's this one?
I don't need more time.
I mean, you do. Everyone needs more time. Who doesn't need more time, to be honest? Everyone needs more time. What up, Fencer? See if you can help me.
Shader material, click the material and drag our new that. I hope it did. Of course you can play with the
Where's the shockwave? There it is. Although, I don't think that makes much sense for a space game. Does it? Does anyone know the physics of a shockwave in space? Like, it's a good looking shockwave. I'm just saying. I don't... So he's got a canvas layer set up.
shader and call it and 0.5. Let's multiply the displacement value by some.
Fragment is displacement normalized frag UV minus center.
Let's try 0, 0.
Oh!
That's better. Now we have.
Oh, I see what they're doing. So they're setting up an entire canvas layer that displays it. Interesting. And then I'd have to try and figure out the math behind it. So the canvas layer is displaying...
Have something here. But as you can see, the displacement appears. Let's apply that to which the x coordinate. Let's convert the multiply to a negative number. The result looks like a blackened side of the square. Let's
Okay.
see how it results. Row and
So he changes it out to be like a torus.
perfect. Okay, let's remove the last line. And we can
So then it does that effect over time.
say
Like grows in size.
holding the control key to and let you according to the cut zero straight edges after the effect is completed.
Yeah, so he's changing the shader parameter size.
Call back to the doing callback and call function. Correct. You might destroy the block. Now. Of course, and we will like here.
I guess like doing it this way for my stuff, like this works if you just like, it's very simple to do it this way if you're just doing a ring that's coming out from a specific point. For our implementation, it's a wave that's like starts at a point and it moves forward. So I guess I could create a wave here, but then it's not happening in space at that point. It's happening on top of everything, which means it would impact the player as well. So if the player's looking up, if the player's facing up this way and we instance it, or if the player's facing this way and we instance it and we have it start here and ripple forward across there sort of thing. When we go here, it would start about here, and it means it would distort the player because it's on top of the entire view, not positioned in space. Ooh. Spatial refraction. Hey, it's Jisbo. See. Hang on. Is that one distorting? No, it's not. It's not distorting. I was like, maybe that's what we want, but I mean, it kind of is because it's behind. It does go behind this and on the top of that, but I think that's just doing an additive. It's not altering. Right? It's not impacted by the stuff behind it.
Boo.
Oh my god. Scaring the crap out of me, programmer. Pretty slick shader. This one does look pretty good. How are you doing, Ryan? Been a while, how's it going? It's going good. It's going good. What I'm trying to do today is when we attack with this, it creates a wave in that area, sort of thing. So what I want to do is I want this area, this shock wave, to actually have distortion propagating forward. But it needs to be in scene, in world, so that when I attack this way, it ripples out. but when I attack up, it ripples upwards, but you can't see the rippling that's happening behind the player. That's the tricky part. I can overlay a canvas that just has the ripple effect on it, but that means it's going to impact the player when the ripple starts here and propagates outwards. Like the top of the player will go all wonky. You don't want that. That's not what we're after. So we're trying to figure out how to do that today. We do have ads coming in though. I need to get myself a coffee. So let's start up these words for yous. And I'll be back in a minute or two. See you all shortly. Not bad. Recently started teaching myself PCG. What is PCG? Procedural generation? Is that it? BRB.
And there was much rejoicing.
Hi, how are you?
WTF is this?
I pooped my pants. Thank you. That's a good tasting cup of joe.
Things have changed. I don't like it. How?
Ah, yes, the voices have changed. How are you, Red Rum? How are you, Sammy? How are you, Atticus? G'day, you gedunts. Welcome in, you all. We were asking before, do we like the new TTS voices? It's been a week, so we can change back if we don't like them. Went on a walk and had an amazing idea for Abraham Lincoln boss fight. Do they have an axe and is he fighting a vampire? HAIL will work. No, but Abraham Lincoln was known to be insanely strong and did wrestling. That's true. That's true. He did do wrestling. Play. Chalice. Come on. Damn it. Oh well. How are you doing, Red Rum? How are we all on this fine, fine day? We're trying to do particles and shaders, which not having much luck at the moment. Doing good. Good to hear. Good to hear. So, for everyone that's come in, here is what we're trying to do. Same thing as yesterday. We want it so that when we attack with the bat, this area here that pops up, we want to have that do a ripple effect. But we want it to be in space so that when we do it up here, it doesn't change the player. So we can't do it as an overlay of the screen. That's the challenge. Everything I've seen is like doing it as an overlay on the screen from a first-person perspective or a top-down perspective. I can't have that. I want to have an anachronistic boss fight in the Oval Office with a lot of wrestling tropes. Paperwork flying everywhere as a result of the fight, and an arrangement of the American anthem playing. Oh my god, like Senator Armstrong. That would be fantastic, Vinny. That would be amazing. Fun fact, he was strong, that he actually punched Chuck Norris and was the original starter of WWE Raw. Yep. Yes, Atticus. I'm loving this coffee machine. Thank you very much. It be very tasty. Insane Lincoln War. I'm learning today. This is fantastic. After that statement, he was called Honest Abe. So, I think spatial shaders are used for shading 3D objects. The most complex. I think it needs to be a spatial shader. It needs to be a spatial shader. SSS mode since subsurface scattering mode for skin optimizes visuals for human skin. Boosted red channel. Okay, so we don't want that. Disable depth testing. That's what we want. Depth test disabled. Not quite. If you like that, get ready for... No, kidding, I'm done. Are you sure? Are you sure? I love Chuck Norris like Chuck Norris facts. Chuck Norris facts are some of the best facts out there. Mixed blend mode alpha is transparency. Goodnight, Spike. How are you? And what about starting with a spatial shader that simply displaces vertices outwards towards its geometry's normal? The problem with that is it displaces this. So the problem is it displaces, it displaces this mesh. It doesn't actually take into account anything else in the scene. It only displaces the material that it's applied to. You doing good, Spike? Good to hear. How are you doing, Munglo? What are you up to? I was able to focus on my code today, so I'm happy. Nice. Nice. But if we do that... just to double check and make sure that my thinking is what I assume to be correct. Especially because we're setting its alpha to be 0, basically. Going bid? I can do that. I can do that. How are you, Jammy? Chuck Norris is the hardest element on the periodic table. That's right. In more ways than one. Liam Neeson, I will find you and Chuck Norris. And what? My apologies, I've dialed the wrong number. Chuck Norris's fish, or Chuck Norris's fists make the speed of light wish that it was faster. He attacks sharks when he smells them bleed. He doesn't go swimming, water just wants to be around him. Chuck Norris's tears can cure cancer. It's too bad he's never cried. Doesn't the beard disturb me when I eat? Nope. You're late, H.O.'s. The beard does not disturb me when I eat because it's out of the way. So, for example, when I'm eating something, the mustache, all the hairs are going to the side.
Thank you.
Medusa, go change pants, please. All the mustache hairs going to the side, thanks to the wax holding it out. All of this is going down. So when I eat, as long as what I'm eating isn't like completely greasy and covered with sauce, which that's going to get everywhere no matter if you have a beard or not. Like if I'm eating sandwich or soup or something like that, like something that I can put in my mouth without it going anywhere, then that's fine. But if I'm eating something that, like, something greasy that gets everywhere, it's the same problem that other people will have. Like, that's... watching you from my computer, which absolutely sucks. Hey, PC is the best way to view me. You can have a bigger screen. You can see more detail.
Chuck Norris once urinated in a semi-truck's gas tank as a joke. That truck is now known as the Millennium Falcon.
That's true. That's true. I was thinking the displaced portion also is transparent. But yeah, you'd need to have a correct material. And then the cloned one somehow. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Added crouch to the Physics Server 3D movement system I'm messing with. Then did some parkour. Was it hardcore parkour? Did you do a forward roll onto a couch? Did you jump into an empty box? It would be if it wasn't a Chromebook. Oof. Oof.
A wise soul once said that Chuck Norris died 20 years ago, but death never got up the courage to tell him.
Yep. Yep, that's true. There's also Chuck Norris facts. Nothing but Chuck. Complete list of Chuck Norris facts. Chuck Norris can dry his hair underwater. Chuck Norris can slam a revolving door. Chuck Norris can divide by 0. When Chuck Norris lift weights, the dumbbells get tired. Guns are warned not to play with Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris always know the exact location of Carmen Sandiego. Chuck Norris can grill a popsicle. Chuck Norris knows Victoria's Secret. Chuck Norris does, in fact, live in a round house. Chuck Norris can tie his shoe while running. Chuck Norris can hear sign language. Chuck Norris can build a snowman out of rain. Why did I make the demon sad? How is the demon sad? I did all the rolls. I did quip it. Once ever, never replicated move.
Elvis Presley.
Elvis Presley indeed. Elvis Presley indeed. Chuck Norris can count his chickens before they hatch. Chuck Norris doesn't shower. He only takes blood baths. That one's terrible. All of these are bad now. The first few were good. And the rest of these are just boring. Yep. What's my autocorrect abilities? Oh, that side is so stupid. That's... Chuck Norris facts are the greatest thing ever. Alright? Alright? When Chuck Norris falls... when Chuck Norris falls out of a boat, Chuck Norris doesn't get wet. The water gets Chuck Norris. That's my favorite one. Only depth draw for opaque geometry, not transparent. I'm trying to see if there's a render option that includes the things in it. I don't think there is. I poofed my pants, thank you. Don't thank me, you're the one that did it. Go change your pants. Get some help if you need. Just stop telling me. I don't know what it is. I guess this stream's just so good that people don't want to leave to go to the toilet. Which, I mean, that's a bad thing. That's an environmental disaster waiting to happen. Vertex lighting. Use vertex-based lighting instead of per pixel lighting. Nope. Lighting modifies the alpha, so shadowed areas are opaque, and non-shadowed areas are transparent. Useful for overlaying shadows onto a camera feed in AR. Shader that shows objects behind it. .3D character outline shader. Something in here will help.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? Quit position, quit normal. No, because what this is doing is it's like that's just outlining something. It's not taking into account the thing behind it, that's all. Sample objects behind. I don't think it's possible.
Godoskin.
What the hell is Godoskin? What is Godoskin? Um, 3D displacement. Finally ended up telling Mum and Furry. You don't advise cat. He seems slightly angry today. Because there's this thing. But again, that's just applying it to one thing. It's not taking into account objects overlapping and stuff like that. How does... I know with a water shader... 3D water shader.
Is the Godoskin Meow Godoskin green?
What? No. No. Depth draw always. Why make them capital? Maybe we do need the depth texture. Amplitude based on position.
This is all but a strange dream.
It is. It is. A very strange dream indeed. Very, very strange.
Hello guys, today we have a list of top Cinco Godotkin.
What the hell? Cinco Godotkin? What are you talking about? Granny, what are you announcing? It makes no sense. This is an in-depth. You know what we're going to do? We're going to copy this and paste it here. We're going to see what happens. Alright. See how it doesn't sample? Like, I would assume that screen texture would be like the actual, so like what's on the screen sort of thing. How many Godokins you have? I have an infinite number of Godokins. What the what, programmer? What the what? I poofed my pants, thank you. Said it before, H-Chives. Go change your pants. I wonder. If I do cull back. Cull front. Let's see what happens. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Doesn't work either. Don't worry, H-Chives. Don't worry.
I was saying what the two iChives last TTS message about Godopkins.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we're trying to get it set up so that I guess what I can do is I can just put this back to what it was. Trying to get it set up so that the color, there we go, albedo equals, actually let's go vec or text, go texture LOD with green texture UV and 0. And we do albedo equals texture RGB and alpha equals texture alpha. Well, actually just, yeah, texture alpha. It seems to not care about these objects here. It seems to only care about the ground back here. Now you see how it's like blocking the shadow as well, sort of thing. If I go over here, you see how the color is essentially the same. And if it was taking the alpha, unless it's, you know what? You know what? Varying vec3 local pos. We go local pos equals vertex. Unfortunately, this takes a vector 2, not a vector 3, so I can't really do much with that. Like, there's not much we can do. Going to be have an hour cooldown. I don't think it does. It must. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Enjoy school, Goose. Remember, keep learning. Always, always, always learn. So you see how it's a vector 2. Ah, here we go. I wonder what that's gonna do. That's displaying that over there. Ooh. Okay. Okay. What happens if I change you to vertex? Okay. Because a view matrix is going to be a matrix 4, isn't it? Invalid arguments.
If I clean a vacuum cleaner, wouldn't I be the vacuum cleaner?
You would be a cleaner of vacuums. That's what I think. Cleaner of vacuums. Let's have a look at... Where are the functions? Built-in functions, here we go. So let's do texture proj_lod. Okay, so it only takes a vector 3 and a vector 4. If we multiply you by local pos, we can't. We do projection matrix. No. Because that is giving us something. What if we just do texture projection? Okay. So I think what we need to do... We need to do something with this green texture. This song is called Please Don't Sue Me as well. One of the greatest songs there is. Performs a texture lookup with projection and explicit gradients. Performs a texture lookup at coordinate P from the texture bound to sampler with explicit texture coordinate. Performs a texture lookup with projection from an explicitly specified level of detail. Texture coordinates consumed from P, not including the last component of P. So go for spatial shader, sample area of screen texture. Let's do frag coord. LOD. I don't think that's gonna work. Mm. Let's have a look at vertex built-ins. So vertex built-ins are gonna give us what the frag coordinate of pixel center in screen space, specifies position in window, origin is lower left. Z specifies fragment depth. It is also used as the output value of the fragment depth, unless depth is written to. Interesting. Nicely done, McCory. Congrats on getting into the internship. What are you going to be doing? What is the internship? If we may. Point coordinate for drawing points. Color V, UV. View, normalized vector from fragment position to camera. Okay, maybe we get the frag code. Varying vec for vert frag code. Back-end API work and front-end app work. Full stack for a startup. Ooh. What you need to be prepared for, McCory, because it's a startup, people that work at startups work ridiculous amounts. Like, they work after hours, they work weekends, they do all of that in order to keep the startup moving forward. So, more people want to go to the toilet while watching the stream. God damn it, Jammy. I just saw that. I was a bit behind there. You don't know what frag coord is? Right there. It says it's a vertex constant. For a spatial shader. Shaders, shader reference, spatial shader. Frag coord. Huh? Call disabled, maybe? I don't know. Why does it not know what frag cohort is? Friend's been at it for the past year, I think. From what I can see, the front end hasn't had any work done for 2 years. So def is not fast paced. Even though I would like it to be. So that's just because the front end hasn't had any work done to it. Like perhaps the website doesn't need any changes. It could be a lot of back end stuff and whatnot. Just because there's no visual changes that you're seeing doesn't mean there's not a ton of work going on in the background. Do you have a dark time IT near you? I do not. I do not have a dark time IT. No idea what that is. G'day, Fowler. How are you doing? How's things? I'm struggling to understand why this is saying that frag coord is a built-in. Oh, that's fragments built-in. I want vertex built-ins. Jesus Christ. Normal in model.